everyone, welcome back to Grow Leafy with Alethea. Today's video is going to be a complete garden tour because many of you have been making comments that you wanted to see what my garden looks like, and so that's what we're going to be doing today. But first I want you to go ahead and click the subscribe button if you have not done so, and make sure to watch the complete video so you can see the whole thing. And if you like it, make sure you click the like button and watch another video that would be helpful to your gardening experience. But let's get started with this garden tour. Like I said, I'm going to show you the good and I'm going to show you the bad. And if you have any pointers for me, please feel free to share with me as well. And so I've got summer squash. Over here I've got zucchini. That's under here, and I'm going to show you pictures of just some of the zucchini that I have harvested as well. There's another one that's growing down there. So there's zucchini. I have strawberries. I had to dust them a while back with some diatomaceous earth because the pill bugs were having a feast on these and just chewing up the leaves, and so the strawberries were really struggling to grow, but they have been growing just fine now. First time growing a sunflower seed plant. I've had some issues with this. I've tried asking different gardener friends of mine, see if they had any recommendations. So if you have any recommendations, let me know on what I could do to prevent this. I've tried balancing out the watering, seeing if it needs any certain kind of fertilizer or nutrition. I'm not sure what to do. This is my first time growing this, so if you have any pointers, let me know. I have another one that's growing over here as well, and as you can see here, I've had issues with this where it just seems like it's burning. I don't know if it's the heat wave that we've had. And then a couple of other strawberries as well are flowering. Once I sprinkled that diatomaceous earth on it, I noticed it just gave a break from all of the pill bugs that just wanted to try and sabotage it. On this side, I have Brussels sprouts. There are 2 sets of them, and I've been keeping them covered with row covers as well. And they're starting to grow just a little bit. And then I have another set on the other side of the garden where I can show you as well. This is also another summer squash. There's a squash that is growing back there. It's a straight neck. And I've been able to harvest this already a few times. I've harvested a lot of the mint. There's 2 different kinds of mints here. I have pepper. This one's a peppermint. And then this one's a sweet mint as well. So I've been making a lot of teas. Back over here, have beets. I've harvested some. I've thinned some of the leaves out. I've thinned out 50% of the leaves because I wanted to saute the leaves up, also make some juicing with it, or smoothies with it, strawberry, banana, and beets, and blueberries and coconut water. So I made a really nice smoothie the other day. So here are some of my squash plants that I have been trellising, and check out the video that I'm going to post up here on how we made our trellis if you're interested in learning about that. So this is a spaghetti squash. I have 2 of them right now that are growing. I did quite a bit of thinning on this trellis just because last year I had issues with a lot of powdery mildew, and so I really did not want any of the leaves being too close to the soil to cause any issues like that again. So here's another one, and I'm supporting it with masks. This is what I did last year, and surprisingly the mask did a pretty good job with throughout the rain, the different weathers and temperature, and supporting the squash. So because they can be quite heavy, and so this is squash. So I have spaghetti squash, butternut squash, and Burgess squash that are growing on the trellis. And I'm really running out of space here as well. So as you can see, I literally have to tie these up at the top right here to the top of this enclosure, just because they just keep growing. I have had to just let go and allow these plants just to do their thing. And if they want to grow through, they're just growing through. I've tried my best to keep them inside the enclosure so that, you know, birds are not getting to it and causing any kind of damage or anything else, or the squirrels. But really, this plant is so strong, I just had to let it go. So I'm just letting it go and let it do its thing, and just see how that works out. And then here's my pepper plant. I have a total of 3 in this garden. As you can see, the peppers, they are starting to grow. So those are coming along well, and they are flowering. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 trellises that we have built in here. Here's another squash plant. This is another burgess. I have quite a few burgess. And I had to hand pollinate. So I've had some issues with bees and pollinators not coming in here. And they come on some days and there's a lot of them, and then there's some days where there's not. And so there's quite a bit of hand pollination that I've had to do. Some of it has been successful, some of it has not. I'm still working on that and just looking at different creative ways to get that going. And here's another pepper plant. And there's a pepper underneath there. Hang on, let me get a better view. There we go. There's a pepper plant. So over here we've got cherry tomatoes and currant tomatoes on this trellis. And here we go. I know they were flowering a couple of weeks ago, and they are really starting to take off now. And on the other side, you won't be able to see it very well, but there's a few, I don't know if you can see them back here, that they're starting to turn yellow. They're right back there. But this plant is very, very strong. And then I've done a lot of harvesting on chives back there. As you can see, I've had chives back there, so they've been cut a lot. These have been cut a lot as well. So we've been harvesting them over and over and over again. My zinnias were growing beautifully, and then a lot of different little insects, flies have been coming and just eating at it. Next, on the next trellis, we have cucumbers that are growing, and I have harvested quite a few cucumbers already. But here we go. We have cucumbers, and I'm continually finding runners. I'm trying to control the runners, but I had to attach this runner that's just growing up, and I attached it to a string and attached it to the enclosure that way. But so I think there's about 4 cucumber plants on here. This is the second one. Here's a third one. Oh, there's a 4th one, and then there's a 5th one I know on the back side of this trellis, and I have it trellising here. Now I have, actually, let me go back to the other side, because I need to explain to you actually what I had growing on this side. And in the back, this was completely full of turnips. And so I harvested turnip greens, I harvested the actual turnips, and I was cutting down some of the turnip plants, the leaves, and I had to go ahead and cut a lot of them because there were a lot of insects that were starting to really attack it, and I just wanted to be able to at least harvest the leaves, and so we were able to have a good dinner and also eat the turnips, and that was really yummy. So I went ahead and just cleared them all out because we were having a lot of issues with some of the insects, which brings to me over here. What I really want to talk about over here is where I've had a lot of little they're called little beetles. I can't remember the name of them, but I was making another video about that too, explaining to you the issue that I've been having over here with just little bugs. Then we come to the peas. Now I know these are looking kind of terrible. But they were not looking like this last week at all. As soon as we got the 95, 99 degree heat wave, this is what started happening. They started yellowing, drying out. I tried really keeping up with the watering. I'm not sure if it's been unwatered, but I've been able to harvest them still greatly. Here's one, and they taste fantastic, really good. I'm gonna go ahead and eat that. You'll hear me crunch. Very good. So they taste delicious. I just don't know if these plants will be able to last a long time. But they have produced a lot of sugar snap peas, which has been fabulous. Very tasty. And there's a lot of them that are hanging. See, they're growing outside of here too. Next, I've got marigolds. There are more Swiss chard as well. And then I've also made a video about these Brussels sprouts because I have had an infestation of cabbage aphids that have been eating it alive. It's been just horrible. And so I've really had to sprinkle a lot of this on here and neem oil. But the Brussels sprouts are really finally starting to grow. I don't know if you can see it at the base, but they are starting to grow down there. And as soon as I started providing treatment to this, I was seeing the Brussels sprouts starting to grow, but still, it's a lot of problem. More flowers, and then also the sweet potatoes. Now, the sweet potatoes are loving this heat. I'm not seeing any kind of damage due to that. But this is part of my garden. It's just on the outside of it. So I've got lemongrass, and I believe that was a radish. That's right, that's radish, and kale, and also another tomato plant. This is a currant tomato plant. I hope that you liked this garden tour and that there was something that you were able to take away from it. Please support my growing gardening channel by clicking the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification. Press like on this video if you liked it, and please also share it with others so that they also can benefit from the videos that I will be posting. Also, if you have any comments that you'd like to make or any questions, please make them in the description box and press the like button as well and give me a thumbs up. But until next time, remember to grow leafy, and I will see you in the next video.